Okay, so last time we were working on this guard and the shapes are pretty good. There's a few issues that I'm going to have to come back and work on. Not sure whether I'm going to have to replace the whole guard or not, but the things we learned from here we'll do on the other side, and then we'll come back and work on that another time. So now we're going to move to the back. Okay, so down the rear, I've pulled the rear suspension out. It's currently temporarily mounted on this support frame just to hold it roughly in position. We need it to go up 65mm from this position. This rear suspension's out of a Porsche 996 911. We have had to narrow it slightly to get it to fit, but we're going to basically use the whole Porsche rear end. So our next job is to get this mounted. Okay, so I've already taken out the inner tubs and the inner section of chassis rail. We need to go further in here to allow the rear suspension to come up into the car. So I've marked all that out while the suspension was in, and now we're going to get in there with a saber saw, take out the rest. Okay, so rear end's cut out. It would probably be easier to cut the entire floor out and start again. However, I'm trying to keep this car street legal, and from an engineering standpoint here in South Australia, it is simpler from a paperwork perspective to keep the boot floor. So I'm trying to cut out just as little as I need for me to set my rails in. So we're going to have to build off that rail. It's going to have to come across up over there, down, and then come across and tie in to that rail. So we're aiming just to cut out enough. So both sides are cut out. All the inners are gone. They were gone for ages. We have stretched this guard already, as you can see by the gap that's in here. As you can see by the gap that's in here, this is already out. This has all been panel beaten and shifted out quite substantially. This one here, the bottom's been sliced. I've already sliced the bottom to get this point here out. So it's quite a bit wider than standard. So next step is to remount this on the cradle. I set this up with my initial measurements for this bolt hole to go into here, and because it wouldn't clear the floor I just dropped it, so that's 50mm. But my calculations tell me I need to come up 65, so I'm going to have to cut out this bar, lift it up 15mm and re-weld it so that I get this cradle at the right spot. Okay, so got that raised up 15mm. So now when we bolt in to the bottom sway bar mount into there, we're at the right height. I'll need to space up off the front here 15mm, but that may well be just a board or something like that, just to but I'll adjust that to get it level, the cradle level in the car. So next step, try to get this cross member, this suspension, back into this mount. Okay, so after lots of measuring, we started with the datum, we put a bolt in here, Squared it up so it's horizontal across the car. Got the bolt in the other side. So we're working off of that datum as our datum point. We then took a measurement from there back to this seam in the back of the boot on both sides, squared it up that way. We used this section here, which is 40mm, which fits exactly into the section where the boot catch runs. Measured that, centered up between the rails, so that gave us a datum point to center it left and right. And then we did another double check from inside the car. We used the front face of the rear seat, came up to create a datum. From there back to that same bolt at the back to make sure everything's square left and right. So now that we've got everything located left and right, a simple Tek screw into our jig to locate it on both sides so it can't move forward and back. We have tabs down the side so that we've got it all located. So now our rear suspension is in its final position and we're ready to start to make up our chassis rails, which will come out from here across, pick up our 3 bolt holes. 1 bolt hole's over here, which I'm going to add an extension to so that the chassis rail can come across and clear this section when it turns to come down to pick up our chassis rail. So next step is some cardboard templates so that we can work out what we need in steel. Okay, so we've got the bottom shape of the chassis rail sorted. Okay, and next step, we come down into here. We have to now work on this side, getting the shape through there to clear everything. So our next step is to come up with a side. And then basically with that top and bottom profile, we should be able to cut some steel because it should mirror image left to right with everything central, same heights, everything should mirror image left to right. So with the bottom profile, we should be able to mirror that for the top profile. We should be able to replicate that for the top profile. Mirror image it for the driver's side. So now what we're looking to do is get a side profile, which once again we should be able to cut 4 of and mirror image them. Okay, so we'll get onto that. So bottom and one side done. So that'll give us a template which we can mirror for the other side. Next step is probably to do the back side, and then we can check our top structure. So getting there. Okay, so inside, outside and bottom all done. Unfortunately my phone went flat, so I missed some of the film of making that back one, but it's pretty much rinse and repeat of the front one, so that never mind. So top one to go. Let's get that done. Okay, so here we go. A set of CAD cardboard aided design chassis rails. Now I can separate those and they become my templates for my new rails. Okay, so templates out and separated. So bottom one, bottom and top, and this is the outside and inside rail. So next step is to convert those to a CAD file so that I can then get them laser cut out.